Welcome again, Keepers of Light, and I call you that because you are just that, a keeper of light. The message today comes from a consensus of the main thing that our ancestors want us to know. It is a fact of life that there are certain constraints that exist within this space-time continuum that are necessary in order for this reality to exist in the first place. And so it is not that we are here to eliminate limitations, to get rid of restrictions, but more so to understand that there are restrictions, to understand that there are limitations, to see what those are in particular, so that we can understand that they have less power over our determination of our experience than what they seem to have. Yet, it is a continual misrepresentation of this power that we have in determining our own direction and choice as to what our experience will be in this reality that is and has been prevalent in the continuation of the belief that we are not empowered. The ancestors want you to know that what has historically been handed down to mankind in the form of what we call obligation they want you to become aware of the illusory nature of the obligations you hold in mind, the obligations that, because of the nature by which they exist, hold you in place and therefore keep you from making your life an experience that is primary to your well-being. although you and those who have passed hold within yourself the idea that there are certain ways of doing things, ways that have been handed down to you through tradition, through culture, through familial bonds, through merely existing and watching how things have been done. And because these have, for many, been tied to how much love is and was existent to one another, whether it were that it were a parent who loved you so much so that they sacrificed their own well-being in the process of, in what they believed was the process of upgrading your own well-being. Whether it is you who continue to now sacrifice your own well-being. The ancestors want you to know that this is not what they want for you. What they want for you is your enjoyment of your present moment, the moment that has been sent to you in this, at this point. They want you to enjoy it. They want you to know that it is not betrayal to them, that you would seek newer, more expanded ways of living your own unique life now than that which has been and had been determined by them. Because life is ever expanding, and that we are ever evolving into grander experiences of life. It is okay for us to pursue newness. And that pursuing newness is not betrayal of the old ways that had been. It is the nature of life and existence that change is all that is. And that by seeking to keep things the same is not necessarily a virtue if by keeping them the same there is sacrifice involved. The sacrifice of one's own body, one's own well-being-ness. Human life has evolved to a point where there is knowledge and information that grants us the tools and resources which are available to us to make possible what would and could be considered a utopia of sorts. A utopia. Yet we have limited our we have not used those in ways that would be representative to upgrading the life processes and life experiences for all who exist. All in the name of lower frequency energies that prevail and continue to from the unfounded idea that it would be a betrayal to seek to move from that. The past was done in the best way that it could have been done, given the tools and resources that were. Yet now, whether you use those tools and resources that abound, whether you use them or not, does not negate the fact that they exist, that it is time to abandon what aspects of the old which would from the perspective of our ancestors be deemed of as not beneficial, no longer beneficial to the path of enjoyment that life was meant to be. And so they want you to understand that they applaud you when you move away from those aspects of how they did things, which were not so loving to themselves. No matter how much a tradition it became, no matter how much a belief they had in those ways of being, and so this is a call to you, for you to look at those areas of your life that you consider are obligatory to you. Because the frequency by which those things that you think of as an obligation, the frequency that they exist in is now meant to be, has always meant to be transmuted. And the way in which it exists now and how it had been left for us to experience, it's not for us to help it to continue to be the same, but for us to transmute, to see through to the truth, to see the truth that exists in the message that you do not exist in obligation to anything other than the attainment of your enjoyment, the attainment of your well-being-ness. Because though it may seem as though the path to this is to be in neglect of self, though it may seem that you are obligated to neglect yourself in the process of attaining well-beingness. this is obviously not so. It is okay for you to evolve your way of thinking and believing and feeling as you move through this space and time continuum. And as you do, you are being applauded for it. As your movement toward the highest level of well-beingness that is possible here, so too are you contributing to the well-beingness of all. I will leave it here. And thank you so much for being here with me, for your patience as I come into alignment to our energetic field of information that is now open for us to receive, to be in reception of. And so this makes being here now the most enjoyable of all times to have been, to have ever been. Until next time.